Hey everyone, welcome to episode 64 of the Paddle Talk podcast, brought to you by Racing in the Dirt from Cleveland, Wisconsin. We've got great content this week, great stuff coming up. We talk Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series schedule, we talk some results from the Southeastern DOT Series, and we have some special guests join us for some talk also about some racing and some stuff like that. So stay tuned. We've got a great show coming up for you. Brought to you again by Racing in the Dirt. Hey everyone, and welcome to the next segment of the Paddle Talk podcast. We are talking about the newly released Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series schedule, or speeders for those of you out there that find that to be a mouthful. And just a reminder, this segment, just like every segment here on the Paddle Talk podcast, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, they're ready to help your 2025 race season get off to a bang. From turnkey builds all the way down to bolt-on parts, tires, wheels, cut tires, chain drives, you name it, Racing in the Dirt has them in stock and ready to go to help your race season get off to a good start. So give them a call today, area code 920-693-2000, or you can look them up on Facebook or find them on the Racing in the Dirt website at racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com. All right, our own Dave Applegate is the principal behind the Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series. Dave, what do you got for us? The schedule, of course, but where is the Speeders organization, I should say, headed this year?
All right. Well, this year, we've got a few added tracks, which is really nice. So we're going to just go real quick over the schedule for 2025. Rules and classes will be coming out maybe in the next segment or two, I believe. But we're going to start with some dates here. It takes a little while, especially when you're a new series like me, because there's series out there that has been around for many years. And of course, they get, first dibs, if you will. So it takes a little bit longer when you have a new series. But we are starting out May 8th, 9th, and 10th at Little Sandy Raceway. Now, obviously, Little Sandy is up for sale. So that may or may not happen. So that is kind of tentative as of right now. But that will be the first one. Our second race, May 29th, 30th, 31st, is at Shelton's. Again, as most of you already know, that'll be an SPDRS and World Sand Drag News race together. That one I'm really looking forward to, and that's a big thanks to Billy Teeters. July 18th, 19th, and 20th, we head on up to Michigan to Silverback. That one's always a great race up there, no matter who the promoter is. That just brings a lot of really cool stuff. Then we go August 28th, or I'm sorry, June, there is nothing. Reason for June not having anything is kids get out of school. Normally when kids get out of school, everybody goes on vacation, and there is a few big races that month, and it just not a good idea for me to have anything in June. So we skip that. We go to to August. August 28th, 29th, and 30th, Newtown in Virginia. That's one I'm really excited about. I've talked to Williard many a times, and we got everything together, and I think that's going to be a really good event. Then we go September 5th and 6th at Tri-County Four-Wheelers up in Lisbon, Ohio. Then we go again in September 26th, 27th at the place where Gravel Rama is held, which is, what is that? IOK, correct? IOK Four-Wheelers, is that correct?
Yeah.
So that one definitely looking forward to. And we end the year October 9th, 10th, and 11th at Lumber River in North Carolina. So we have the race at Shelton's, the race at Tri-County, and the race at KOI or IOK Four-Wheelers. Those three races are combined with a normal event going on. So keep that in mind. All others will be just SPDRS. So that's our schedule. Stay tuned for all the classes all the rules, all that will be coming out very soon. And that's where we're at, Isaac. So starting off with the schedule and moving forward with everything else.
Awesome, man. I love it. I mean, pretty much if you're east of the Mississippi, there's a race kind of in your neighborhood with Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series this summer. So up here in Michigan, Ohio, down the East Coast a little bit. I mean, you don't really have excuse to at least check one out this summer and see what it's all about. And like we said, classes and rules coming up here shortly in the next couple of weeks. But I think I can speak for Dave when I say get in where you fit in. There's a class for pretty much everybody to run something if you want to go there. Am I right, Dave?
Yes. Now there is one change, major change, and that is the only race that we will have this year that will have the Banshee style classes will be at Lumber River.
Okay.
Everything else will be full size 4x4 ATVs side by sides. We're gonna hold off on the Banshee stuff until the very end. Lumber River, as most know, is very well known for that, and we feel that'll work out the best. One thing I forgot is our sponsorships. We are working on that. Seems as though all sponsors are back in and got a couple surprise sponsors coming up. Last year we was right at 30,000. I do believe we're going to exceed that.
Awesome. Great. Glad to hear it and really excited. It should be a great summer for speeders and yeah, great. Well done, Dave. Great to put in the work. And Damian Bowers, anything to add that you would like to add into this segment?
Not really. I'm just excited to see how this series of his grows. Definitely being a bigger traveling series than most.
I heard Rural King possibly might have a mini bike sale between now and then. I expect you to take advantage of that.
At least when it comes to Cleves, as long as it ain't too tore up, I would say we'll
Oh,
probably have the Jeep at his race at Cleves.
oh my
Ryan
goodness!
Kerr,
I
we're
hope
going to
Billy
call
brings
you
it
out
because
right now. Ryan Kerr, you're going to need to build Damien a wheelie bar because we've seen what happens when he gets that mini bike power under him. So we'll just throw down right now. That way everybody's on the same page and all expectations are out there.
hey, real quick, guys, before I forget, this is something that I think people are going to like. 295 index classes will be at these races.
There you go.
So the bad boys, I know they can't make every single one. You know what I mean? Because that's a very high maintenance type of vehicle. But definitely Shelton's, definitely Silverback, Tri County and gravel. Newtown, I'm not sure about. But we have 4 options there. So in the meantime, we'll be talking to the guys that typically run 295 and see what date works best for them, and we'll put that in there. Because I know
There
that
you go.
there's other series that has it too. We don't, they can't do every single one because of the expense, but we definitely will have that this year for sure.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Great job, Dave. All right. Caleb Ings, your spotlight. Take us out.
Well, I think first off, I think we need to get some Dave some fuel cards or something because man, he's gonna be putting some miles on his rigs getting to all those events.
Oh,
And
last year was over 12,000 miles on my trip meter on my truck.
whew, my goodness, now definitely cool to see that's a series traveling. I definitely need more of those across the U.S. And hopefully we can make a few of those events with the Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series and get some awesome photos. And you'll be able to purchase those photos on worldsandragnews.com. Click on the photo tab there, or you can go onto our Instagram, and the link will be in our bio to go onto our gallery site. You can go on there and look at all of our past galleries and purchase photos of your, own ride, your friend's ride, tons of different print options, digital downloads, metal prints, wood prints, frame stuff, everything that you need for your trophy case and gifts to all of your racer friends. So go check that out. It's a great way to support World Sand Drag News, and we'll see you guys at the next one.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our next segment of the Paddle Talk podcast. Glad to have you along. And we are joined by some special guests. We are joined by Matthew and Maddie. What is your last name, by the way?
It's Roller, Roller.
Oh, I love it. All right. Matthew and Matti Roller joining us for this segment, which is brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt. Racing in the Dirt, over 30 years experience, everything from minor chassis parts to full-blown turnkey rides. They're ready to make your race season and race program to a whole new level. So check them out on the web, racinginthedirt.com. Find them on Facebook, or you can give them a call. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin. And they UPS daily. Racing in the Dirt. All right, so rollers, kind of like how that works out. You're on the podcast, so take us a little bit, bring us up to speed. For those of you those of our viewers and listeners out there that may not know, what is our primary race vehicle, and kind of, where are you guys out of? What series do you normally run? That sort of thing. Give us the 5,000-foot overview.
Okay, I'm gonna start this off by saying there is not a primary race vehicle. We have too many. There's not.
Good problem to have.
That's like motors. There's not a primary motor because, okay, it might be a week before we just, get a wild hair and decide we're going to swap an engine. So, we're out of Newton, Alabama. We've been here our whole life. It's a little town outside of Dothan. Dothan's a little bit bigger. Most people know where Dothan's at. We're about 20 minutes. We're in BFE out here. There's not crap. He's the one that started it, so he cannot blame me for putting money down the drain in this one because he got me started on it. So it's his fault.
I love
Pops,
it.
what do you got to say to yourself?
You want to tell him he started?
Do you want to defend yourself, or you just want to keep going here?
He can't defend himself. He knows it's right.
I started this mess when I was about 18 years old. I'll be 45 this year, and when she come along, I took her to the track, and me and my buddy in diapers. I mean, my mom said y'all can't take care of her, and she's spazzing out, and we took her anyway.
My hearing's been damaged for many years, obviously. So.
And y'all ask about our primary rides. She drives. I know you. Yep.
Mr. Daves and Damien has seen my yellow rail.
The yellow rail. I got a newer model Colorado truck that I drive, and I started out with an old about 78 step-side Chevrolet truck. And now we're swapping over. I mean, we got, like I said, them two cars or trucks and cars that we raced there, and we're stepping off into drag racing a little bit too now. So we got a 70 model Nova and a 68 Camaro.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Nice.
So
Steve,
so when I met them down at Samsu, what was it?
Satsuma.
That place down in Florida for Ken Donaldson's race. They pulled up, and Ken's like, "Oh, there's Maddie," and all right, I've never met her or her dad before. And the thing that Maddie's doing now to her dad, and her dad just being quiet, and then they do that the whole time. It is hilarious. Like, these two, you would think are brother sister, not father daughter. It's comical. Great family, and to be honest, I mean, after meeting him, that's why I asked Caleb, Isaac, and everybody, hey man, can we bring these guys on, because they're going to fit perfectly. You guys are awesome. Sportsmanship, the whole 9 yards, win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. They are there to race, enjoy the people around them, and I see her with a very bright future. I will tell you that. If you see this young woman at a race, you better be ready, because she is very good.
I try to do the run your truck, not your mouth type deal. So it just works better just to and just run it, just run it, put it on the track.
Except your dad. Except that you can run your mouth to dad though, right? I
He's
mean,
the one that aggs me on. He's. Do you wanna put nitrous on it? Do you wanna turn it on?
And actually, that's when she turns it on, and it costs me because everything goes kapooey after that.
so
So
can you tell us a story? You call it the yellow rail, but it's actually a Bronco. Can you tell us a little bit more about that Bronco? Then after that, I believe Damien may have a question for you about it as well.
Well, I bought that thing, let's see,
18.
18 years ago. She wasn't even born yet, but she was on the way. And it took me several years because, she was born. So it took me several years to get it put together where I could actually run it. And I drove it for a couple of years. And then it got put up in the shop for a long time. And I had some more stuff that my old truck, I had it going. So that's what we would take her to the race with. And then when she got about 12 years old, I told her she could drive it. But
Well, hold on. I begged this man. I was begging tooth and nail. I wanted to drive it so bad. Negative.
But the only thing was, I'm a big block fan, and that's all That's all I've had is big blocks. And I had come across one small block that I had kept back, and I put it in there. I said, "Now that's the smallest one I got." And so we put it in. She helped me put it in there, and we went to the track. And she made her first 4 passes, and they were under 4 seconds in 200-foot track. So I couldn't complain. And then here we go.
Bigger and bigger. Let's get bigger. Get bigger.
And the name of the car.
Sweet Thunder.
All right. So there might be some people out there that remember that car. Damien, I believe you remember that car, correct?
very little of it. I've seen some videos. I've seen some pictures of it. It was a northeastern central PA. It would run Bloomsburg. I believe it would run some of the USHRA and whatnot shows that would run in arenas at that time in the 90s. But it's a very capable car. It's obviously designed more for an actual mud pit to try and be a lot more stable a vehicle.
It likes the mess. It very much the rougher the track, it's just going. We're running. We're going.
And that has been on TV before, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's been on TV. Before it was like a reddish.
It was gold. It was gold and maroon color.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm currently digging, trying to find pictures or videos of it in its past lives.
Okay.
I have some that were sent to me, but I'm not sure where they are on my phone at the moment.
But it was gold in the center, and it was trimmed, I think, up top and bottom. No, it was maroon in the center with trim gold on top and bottom, I believe.
Wow.
Okay. The car's been around for quite some time, and it is so cool to see in person. Now, Matti, after we left Samsuta or whatever, Satsuma, you went to another race, you and your dad. Tell us about that. What happened?
Let's see.
Clarksville.
Yeah, that was Clarksville. Okay, so Saturday at Satsuma we decided we were going to take a nap before we left. Well, that nap was about an hour long because we were both starving. So we got home Sunday at 7 a.m., unloaded the car, went in, slept, and then the next weekend we went to Tri-State Off-Road Park. It's Clarksville, Florida. Really, it's not a big track. It's kind of run down, I'd say. After they had a hurricane, it really
messed them up. That hurricane really tore them up bad.
So we still go. It's not my favorite track to race at because it is more primarily like sand rather than red sticky clay. But I mean, it's Florida, so we got there and it is a double lane track. and we started running. I was number one. I decided I was going to be number one. I was just going to take it. Everybody kept skipping it. I was like, you know what? I've had good luck with running first. I was like, I'm going to take it. I took it, and probably about 8 or so trucks in, the time clocks messed up.
We had a Satsuma.
We had a Satsuma. So the time clocks messed up, and they recalled all the drivers up there for a drivers meeting. And I was like, so are we going to just throw the first pass out the window? What are we doing here? They were like, yeah, because it's not going to be fair to anybody. I said, okay.
This was a consistency race, correct?
Consistency. So I get up there, and I'm kind of angry because I didn't say anything to anyone, but I'm kind of mad walking back to my car because I'm about to make my first pass on an unworked track with holes, the ruts like already dug out. Dad said, "Do you want to race, or you just want to load on a trailer and call it quits?" I said, "Mm-mm." I said, "After we've already drove here an hour and a half," I said, "I'm racing." So I get out there and I make my first pass, and then my second pass, I thought they were about to rework the whole track. They only reworked the front of it where that huge hole was, and I was 1,000th off from my other time, and I was like, "Praise the Lord for me keeping my mouth shut and just racing." So
you won. Is that correct?
I did. I won first place. And second place was 8,000ths off, I believe.
Man.
So we were really digging close that night, but I was excited. I was really excited.
Now you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Just started it. That's been this weekend. We just started it, got our first video uploaded. I had a lot of people started following me on Facebook. We went to a drag race. Afterwards, we went to Clarksville and raced. We got home and in bed about 10:30, 11 o'clock. We woke up at 4 a.m. and went to a drag race.
Over there, the Adel.
In Adel, Georgia.
Adel.
Oh, South Georgia Motorsports Park.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we went to a drag race to watch.
I think it was the Radial Tire versus the World or something like that.
Lights out.
Lights out,
Yes.
16, yeah. And Mr. Bill, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Street Racing Channel or Old Man's Garage.
Bill Hoskinson's up my way.
Yes, sir.
There you go. He actually reposted our photo together. We went and talked to him, and we've met him once before at a local track, a local drag strip down here. And he reposted our photo together, and I started getting a bunch of ads, and people friended me because I posted my race the night before, so you could obviously see that I race, and I started getting a lot of ads. Like I had over 1,000 people adding me in a night, and so it prompted me to turn my Facebook into a creator profile. And I said, I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it. If I don't get but 100 views on my YouTube channel, oh well, I got to start somewhere, and what better time to do it?
Sure.
I tried to get her to do this when she started racing years ago. She said, "No, I won't do nothing to this, Daddy. I don't want none of that." And
It's a big commitment.
yes, sir.
It is. I noticed that in the first video I did of us putting in the motor back in our drag car, like the voiceovers, and it's a lot.
So how do they find you on YouTube?
It is the Racing Rollers, or I have it pinned and linked to my Facebook. It's Matti Roller. So
Well, I watched the video and it was really good. It was comical. Yeah.
Well, Maddie, I think you might pick up a few extra subscribers after we post this episode. So hopefully we'll get the ball rolling on your new YouTube channel.
Too, I can shout you guys out too for my not very many people, but
Yeah, and I bet your dad over there is thinking, man, I got to go down to the store and get me some more poo-poos just to make sure that I keep my daughter safe here with all these people.
I know how to work one of them.
She got in there about as much as I got in them. Ain't none. They all locked and loaded.
All right, so I've got one last question. for 2025, what is your goal as far as dirt sand drag racing? Do you have a goal set? What you want to do? And like your main goal for the year, other than put the thing back in and out of the trailer under its own power every time.
Well, he's got a new motor coming, or it's in the truck, so you can answer that one first, and then I'll answer. I don't know what your goal is.
My goal is to have fun with it all, meet new people, and just like I said, just meet new people, go hang out at tracks, and just go and hope none of me or her gets hurt, nobody else gets hurt, and enjoy yourself.
I think,
Well said.
I think my
Definitely.
goal would be to get motor racing back out there. That's kind of why I was so adamant about starting the YouTube channel quickly. Maybe to try to post, like, get some attention with the drag, and then after I got the attention with the drag, post the mud and the sand, because not many people are.
It's dying.
It's dying. It's really
Oh
dying.
yeah. Especially the deep mud stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's bad.
Well, it takes things like what we're doing right now to help support it and grow it and get people to go to these tracks. Isaac, do you have anything for Maddie or her father?
Can we ask what the current driveline setup is in the Bronco, or is that top secret, shall we say?
No, sir, it's not top secret. I ain't there's nothing I'll tell you. It's I believe I put axles in the front, so I know it's a Dana 44 front end. I believe it's the current year model that Bronco was there. It's got a 9-inch forward rear end. It's got a 60 chain drive. That's something I would like to change one day, but I don't know if I could fit something in there, like something easier to work with, because all that stuff under there was homemade. And like one of them SCS drop transfer cases, like what I got in my truck, a little 12-inch case, where I could change the gears, would be a lot easier and a lot of help, but I don't think I got the room, so I'm just going to have to work and tweak with what we got and hope it don't bust all of it again.
What power plant's in it, Matt?
That's 632.
Nice.
When something goes wrong, we have to break out, like, all the equipment in the shop and the welders and just build stuff, because you can't find it.
And unfortunately, like in my line of work, I don't know if y'all know, my dad's an electrician, but we own a machine shop too at my house, and I run it. So any of these special parts I have to build, I do it.
That helps.
Well, yes,
Definitely
it does.
helps.
And I'm sorry, Caleb, I don't mean to interrupt there. Maddie, there's something that you are working on very hard that I've seen in your YouTube video, and it actually is something that I do for a living as well. What is it that you're trying to get?
Oh, welding?
Yes, tell us about that real quick.
So, I started this school year. I'm a senior in high school, but I do dual enrollment. I do online school, so I have more flexibility to do classes like that. And I'm top in my welding class. I enjoy it. It's really fun for me. I passed blueprint with a 99.
Nice.
Yeah. And my welding instructor is trying to talk me into going somewhere, since I'm a female and little and can fit in tight places, and he's trying to get me on the road. He said I could make a bunch of money. So,
Well,
Yeah.
It's true.
yeah, and I've got a chassis.
you know what a bunch
I've got a chassis sitting at my house that I could use your help on. So come on over and TIG weld this thing for me, would you?
you know what he does for us?
I'm sorry.
You know what a bunch of money does?
Makes cars go faster.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Caleb, what you think, buddy? You got anything else?
I just am curious, like obviously you guys are doing a lot between pavement and the sand and mud stuff. What are some of the local tracks that you guys go to? Are you guys following any series for this year that we should know about?
We don't really follow any. We kind of just, go at our own whenever we've got time to go somewhere or we're able to make time, that's when we go. Our local track just closed this year. They decided that they were not. So now our closest track would be Clarksville, Florida, which is the one I said, we don't really care to race at, but we also want to keep the track open. It's about an hour and a half from us.
Not terrible.
No, that's not bad.
No, not at all. But we there's a lot of, I don't know how to put this. When we travel, we get to meet a lot of people, and they're always nice. And it helps for us to be able to travel when it's like Mr. Dave. Like meet Mr. Dave. Now we want to go places that he's going. So.
For sure. What's the farthest you guys have been to as far as a facility? Pavement or dirt?
Well, we hadn't drag raced none yet, but I've been with a bunch of friends drag racing. We've went to like Montgomery, Alabama.
What was your farthest? Mississippi?
I went to Mississippi with my truck over there to DT's dirt drags.
Oh, nice.
And then
How's that?
That's about 5.5, 6 hour ride over there from here. And then Satsuma, the other week.
Satsuma and Cobbtown? Cobbtown and Satsuma are like,
they're neck and neck.
They're neck and neck right there. They're just, two opposite directions, but still same from us, really.
And Soggy Bottoms is not too far from you either, is it?
This is in my notes. Yes. It's only 4 hours from us, which is 4 hours. That looks good for what we've been going. 4 hours looks good. What's y'all's opinions on that about the payout? The payout being decided on race day, depending on what everybody wants to pay for entry fees.
Isaac, you want to run with that one?
Well, let me just make sure I heard that correctly. So you decide on race day what you're paying for entry fees, and then that determines what the payout's going to be.
That is what they posted on their Facebook page. Somebody asked what payout. One of our Thomas Perry, he mud races. We love Thomas, but he asked what the payouts and entry fees would be, and the track itself, the page, Soggy Bottoms page, replied to it and said that it would be decided in the drivers' meeting payout. So, I mean, in return,
to me, that sounds like they're going to determine how many places back they're going to split the money.
I mean, hopefully, Damien, hopefully that's not something where it's like, okay, is this going to be a $50 buy-in, a $100 buy-in, a $500 buy-in? Hopefully it's not something situated like that. Did they say anything as far as like percentage payback that they typically do?
No, and see, that's the thing. There was a lady that her fiance races, and she replied to the other guy, and he was like, it's usually $50 typically, but we don't want to. The only thing bad about that is, what if we drive 4 hours? We kind of want to know what payout's gonna look like.
Yeah. I would suggest maybe like DM them and be like, hey, this is our situation. Just curious, like what the typical decision is for that. Is it a 50-50 payout? Is it winner take all? Is it just you're deciding, like Damien said, how many places back it gets paid? That way you get a ballpark, idea of what to expect.
For them to reply back and say that entry fee is what we decide in the drivers' meeting, that's like are us drivers running the track now?
Yeah,
it's kind of an odd one to me. Even
that's strange to say the least. I mean, I don't see the problem, I guess, with advertising. Hey, we'll say payback. You see a lot of the tracks up here. They'll say payback is 80%. Well, it's 80% of whatever the entry fees are. But you always know going in. I mean, unless the other guys say something different. I've never been to a race where I didn't know what the entry fee was going to be before I got there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've paid anywhere from $10 a class to I've paid as much as $80 for a class. So, I mean, but I always knew what that amount was going to be before we even loaded to go there. So to not be able to say that, man, I mean, I don't know. I've never been there. I'm just saying it smells a little home cooked, and I'll just leave it at that. So,
Well,
I,
Mr.
I,
Dave,
I think it.
I've been there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Have you been there? Ain't you been there before, Mr. Dave?
No, sir. Ken Donaldson has been there.
Ken did.
Yeah, Ken's the one that we were talking about when we were all together. He goes there. So,
Go ahead.
so the other thing is maybe they were saying X, you had to have so many vehicles in a class in order to pay out X amount of money. Is that what they were saying?
Well, and see, the only class that they're technically having, which I wrote down, like, would be for trucks. They're having a truck consistency class. They're doing a four-wheeler class, and then they're doing the side-by-side class. So really the only truck class would be consistency. That's why it's kind of like.
But get with Ken. I know Ken's been there a few times.
Yeah.
Ken might be able to answer that question for you.
The other thing we were talking about was, so March 15th is Cobbtown, Southern Thunder mud track. And then there's 1 week in between that and Soggy Bottoms. And we're trying to figure out which one we'd rather go to with drag cars and mud. Like, we've got to like even it out a little bit and keep a little space open so we can work on things actually.
Oh, totally.
Well, I'm excited to see how you guys do this year.
Are you going to Cobbtown or Soggy Bottoms?
I was asked to go to Cobbtown. I actually thought about going to Cobbtown, but my third grandchild is, baby shower for my third grandchild, which I don't know what the hell happened there. I remember baby showers was always for the girls, and the guys would go out, hang out at a bar, or hang out at a buddy's house and watch racing or football or something. No, now all of a sudden, all the guys got to go too. So something new to me. But anyways, my youngest son's baby showers that weekend, so I won't be able to make it. But I had plans on going, but that's not going to happen. So,
well, you could load them up and bring them to the track.
yeah, they're in Ohio, so.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm excited to see where you guys go.
Maybe there's
Matt,
a race around here that weekend for you.
yeah. Matt, you have done an excellent job, buddy, with your daughter. That's something to be very proud of. Keep up the great work, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys again this year for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys at the track somewhere.
And hopefully maybe we'll get up north one day.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
We'd love to see you guys come out and try out some of the more wild stuff we do. Maybe come to Gravel Rama and try the Eliminator with that Bronco.
Well, what would I mean, I know we only run cut tires around here, so I mean, what would be better? I mean, paddle tires for stuff like that up there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, hey, I do have an option. And Jay Coons told me not to say anything bad about him on this video when I messaged him and told him I'd be on here tonight. And he told me the other day that he'd just let me be the driver if I was going to come up there and race them hills and stuff, that I could just be the driver.
Ooh.
there you go.
There you go.
Hey, there's an option for you.
So maybe
Hey, you know what?
I start being drivers for people. Maybe that's a better option.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jay
John Sword
Coons-
did a pretty good job of that for a lot of years.
And I remember Jay tried to get you to drive his down there at Florida, if I remember right.
Yeah, he was messing with me about it, but I didn't think he was serious. He was like, after I saw you could drive, he was like, yeah.
He'll let just about anybody in that thing.
I was like, you're crazy, because I mean, I would choose fighting words if somebody's going to ask me to drive my car. Like, I mean, I'll do the stage and everything, but when it comes to driving the car,
Just don't ever ask her, because she's like a Red Bull. Well, that thing fires up. No, no. I drive my car. I have no help.
I mean, for the longest time, this thing behind me was considered the driver's ed Jeep up here. I don't know how many people have driven it and won money in it.
Also true.
So you're telling me
Isaac's witnessed it go to the finals or Final Four with 3 different drivers.
oh my gosh.
I've seen it. So, all right.
That's an invite.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, we'll have you on again. And best of luck on your season. Caleb Mings, take us out.
All right, folks. As Isaac was saying, really great way to go and support us and get us all out to all these different events so we can see people like Matt and Maddie is to go and buy our photos. Head over to worldsandragnews.com, click on that photo tab, view all of our galleries on there. It's a great way to fill out your trophy case, your wall in your home, the garage, photos of your favorite drivers dating back to the inception of World Sand Drag News all the way through the 2025 season. Go by there and grab some photos.
Hey everyone, welcome back for the next segment of the Paddle Talk podcast, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt out of Cleveland, Wisconsin. Racing in the Dirt on the web at racinginthedirt.com, or find them on Facebook or give them a call. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Turnkey builds to bolt-on parts, you name it, they've got it, and you need it. So give them a call, rustle them up on the web, or even find them on Facebook. Racing in the Dirt. All right, so in this segment, we are talking results from the Southeastern DOT Series. Our own Dave Applegate was on site for that race. Dave, what do you got for us?
Well, as last year when I went to it for the first time at Palmetto Mudway, it was a great time. They really pull in a really good crowd for this series that they started, and I believe this is the 6th or 7th year. If you guys remember correctly, when we had BT Summers on there as well as Rhett, they hand out World Wrestling style belts. If you win a particular class that weekend, that belt stays with you and you have to bring it back to the next weekend. So this was the first race of the year. So everybody got a belt. And of course, Southeast DOT Series hopes that that guy comes back and brings that belt back. Otherwise, they won't have nothing to give out to the next winner. So, great facility. First time I was there, it's absolutely beautiful, just like I was told. Now down here, the grass isn't still quite there, but I see what they mean. I mean, this thing is flat as a pancake, plenty of parking, and the guy keeps up with the yard. Amazing. Like, he's got an area there he don't want nobody messing with, because I mean it's like I'm not a golfer, but you could probably play golf here. I mean it's really, really pretty. But yeah, great bunch of guys, and that is BT Summers and his dad. I think his dad name is Terry. I hope I got that correct. They had a Portatree timing system. It was a newer one. As most of us, they had some issues with it, as we all do with a new system. Got it figured out. Took a little bit of time, and then they got into racing. They do a lot of the mud as well. When I say mud, I mean the big holes. So these trucks go from the mud. Sometimes they do the horseshoe race, and then they do drag racing. So these trucks that go there, man, they're able to do a lot of different things. And it's all trucks. There's no dragsters. There's no side-by-sides. They let me go and make a couple hits, but there's no class for side-by-sides or anything. So they have small block class, small tire class, big tire class, outlaw, and then open. Their open is the consistency class. Now, they do have rules on their tire size, and I do not have that in front of me, but their small tire, I believe, is 38 and down, I think.
Yeah,
And then their big
I think you're
tire.
right. From when we had BT on here, I believe that is exactly what he said. Like 38.5 and down, DOT size tire. Yep.
Correct. And they do, the cuts, and they cut them how they want it and all that stuff. The outlaw class, I believe, is where they allow the trucks to put paddles on if they want. Although a lot of these guys don't run paddles. They just take they got a regular DOT tire, then they throw a cut tire on, is kind of what I'm seeing that they do. So I've got a list of the winners here. They had a good turnout. Real quick, they had a really good turnout. The spectators, I'm guessing 500 to 600.
Nice.
both sides of the track. Too deep on the left side of the track, as far as trucks parked. I had one person there that had a trailer grill, like it was a whole, like, I don't even know how to say it, not like something you sell out of, but I guess he built this thing and they go to different racetracks with it, their family and their friends, and they back up to the fence and they grill out. And I got a
That's
video of
awesome.
it. I'll have to get that to Caleb or one of us to put that on there. But
Heck yeah.
anyway, it was really, really good time. So small block, your winner was BT Summers. Runner up was Willis Walker. Small tire class. Let me back up a minute. Small block class. There is a lot of the small block tire trucks or small block trucks. And they did double eliminations on that as well, if I remember correctly. So that took some time, and that was a lot of runs, a lot of trucks. They did really well. Then we go into small tire. Your winner was David Hewlett Jr. David Hewlett, I think, so there's Dave Hewlett, the dad, and then David Hewlett Jr. The dad I've met a few times, and I think he is 70, if I remember right. He told me he's 70. And buddy, he's tough as nails. That guy is tough as nails. So, anyways, they got the winner. Runner up was Sean Landon. Sean Landon is very well known in the area. He's a super great guy and has a really nice vehicle or truck. Big tire winner, Michael Russ. Michael Russ. Damien, that is the guy with the green step side
I've
that you
seen
were
a
talking about
video
earlier.
of
Okay.
that thing. That thing moves out once it finally gets a hold of earth.
It is a very impressive truck. Last year it was all flat black. Actually, I ran him first round last year at Palmetto for the Southeast DOT series, and a great guy. Well, he took all winter, and they redid that whole truck. It is absolutely gorgeous from the firewall to the back bumper. I mean, it is. They did an exceptional job on that thing. So if anybody ever gets time, look up Michael Rush, check his truck out. I believe it's 632 cubic inch, 3 stages of nitrous oxide.
Yeesh.
And it's a runner. I will tell
All
you
on
that.
leaf springs, I believe, too, wasn't it?
I do believe so. Yes. Yes. A lot of really cool ingenuity went into that truck. The bed, for instance, a lot of them guys don't run beds, the floors, due to the mud and everything. Well, they put I think it's aluminum. They put a piece of aluminum down. Then they found they had a guy, and I'm sorry, he did tell me the person's name, that made a huge decal, and it looks like if you're standing away from it, you would swear it was a old school hardwood bed,
Nice.
and then he's got a little hinge on there so that he can reach his suspension, and his battery is under there and all that. Really cool ingenuity went into that vehicle. So congratulations to Michael Russ. Runner up was Josh Gibson. I don't remember meeting Josh. I'm sure I did, but I don't remember. Then we go to Outlaw. Michael Russ again takes the win in Outlaw. Runner up was David Hewlett Sr. So again, I don't remember meeting his son, but I definitely know David Hewlett Sr. and he is a cool dude. Then we get into open, which is the consistency classes. First was Matt Edmond. Second was Sean Landon. Third was Chandler Toole. Now, Matt Edmond, out of all these trucks, me and Ken Donaldson was in consistency as well. So you had anything from blown alcohol like Ken's to one side by side like me, to all these big cube motors. Matt Edmond had this, I believe it was an old Chevy truck. It might have been 4-wheel drive, might have been 2, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he had to put engine oil in it after each run because it smoked a lot. And I'm not picking on him, but he was the most consistent guy. And I think it even literally, like they say DOT, if I remember correctly, this thing had like regular highway tires on it. And if I remember, and he whooped butt. I don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was like 0-1 or something. Then I mean, he was on it. And there's nobody else that even came close from what I remember. But I want to congratulate BT Rhett, all the guys from Southeast DOT and what they're doing for the sport. They are definitely getting into the drag racing scene. They had a lot of questions for me and Ken Donaldson. They are definitely interested in getting and looking into getting like a street gas or street diesel for the locals. They jump in, our young ones. They're also not against getting some side by sides. Now, this stuff may not happen this year, but they are definitely looking into it for next year. They want to grow what they're doing and make it bigger. And I would be looking out for Southeast DOT series because they're doing a really good thing. So congratulations all that won. And to the people that put it on, they did a fantastic job.
Nice. No, sounds good. Sounds like you had a good time, Dave, and sounds like it went really well. Sweet. Damien, about anything to add there or question?
Now, as Isaac can attest here, anytime you got that old man's bringing out an old beat up truck smoking like hell, I've seen more of them win bracket races than I care to admit.
Very much so. No, agreed. Agreed. 100%.
Oh, I do have one more thing, guys. The service at Branchville is little to none. So they do have Wi-Fi there, but Smiley, his name is Smiley. He does all the videos and pictures and whatnot for Southeast DOT, and he was the one that we made sure. Well, I shouldn't say we. They made sure he had that Wi-Fi so that they could get all that out. So was not able to go live. I had all intentions on doing it, but there just is not enough service there. So, but if you're interested in seeing the videos, they are all over Facebook on Southeast DOT series.
There you go. All right. Caleb Miggs, you want to wrap up this segment?
Yeah. Just want to make sure that you guys go and take a look at all of our photos as well over on worldsandragnews.com. Go over there and click on the photo tab. You can also get to it from our Instagram page. We got our most recent galleries in the bio, and you guys can go in there. I'm sure that your trophy case is looking a little bare. You want to spruce it up a little bit. Grab a favorite photo of your ride on there. We've got galleries from all over the U.S. Check them out. It's a great way to support us.